It's a Jidion video again. It's not a predator catch, but it's related to it. A YouTuber's trying to cancel him, and the YouTuber is someone I watched before. Like, I'm familiar with him, but I'm not too familiar with him. You know August the Duck? Ah, him. Oh, you must know something that I don't. So Jidion really did cut his hair. I thought it was just like some old ass video. This nigga dead ass cut his. Oh wow, he looked mad young too. That's the thing though. I mean, everybody they get beards and they cut it, they look mad young. But what's making me more mad though is like, I know he's bald. I don't like where niggas wear do-rags and they're bald, like no hair, bro. Like, what's the point, bro? Like, y'all seen him in the last video, bro. He looked like a chicken nugget. Let me stop. He looked like a mini corn dog, bro. Let me stop.
Canceled again. You know, we got this YouTuber here. His name is August the Duck, and he titled his video, "This Prey Catcher Has Gone Too Far." And funny enough, this is actually his second video that he's made about me. You know, he double backed on your boy. And basically the thing that he critiques about me in this video is the thing that you would just least believe. Like, you would think out of all the things you can critique about my prey catches, the thing that he actually goes in and harps about is like, what? But man, without any further ado, let's get into this, man, and let's see what he got to say.
Now, we've talked many times about content creators who make content that is thinly veiled as this attempt to like better society or benefit the people around them, when in reality, the only reason that content is being made is because it's benefiting the person who makes it. It's not helping out the people that they claim it is, and a lot of times it's actually at their expense. And one of the most common kinds of content that I see this problem arise is with the whole predator.
I thought he should just do like commentary, and I never really seen his face like that. I was like, oh, that's how he looked like. I was like, oh, interesting haircut. You know what I mean? But hey, we different races.
Catching genre that seems to be pretty popular these days. And today, I feel like I have some pretty strong evidence that one of the biggest guys who does this is maybe not in it for the right reasons.
So Duck, the commentary YouTuber who makes videos about Jack Doherty and multiple videos about me and internet drama, says that he has solid evidence that shows that I am not in this for the quote-unquote right reasons. Really, in this instance, the only opinions that matter to me and that I actually would take to heart is what my audience thinks, what my family thinks, what the police departments think, and most importantly, what my peers that are also in the prey catching community think. Those are the opinions that I care about, and I think that those go way further than a commentary YouTuber, but let's get into his evidence.
Basically, I don't really think the whole predator catching genre of content is one that really belongs on YouTube. I don't really think it's one that should be made at all.
So Duck, you don't think that this content should be made at all, but on your channel, Chris Hansen is...
It just... Oh, damn. You gotta be knowing what you put out, bruh, before you speak. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they got you in 4K, gang. 4K, 1080p, 60 frames. Reacting to this shit, you can't. Okay, now this is a drama video. It's drama though, for sure, bro. One taking a look at I had to zoom in on it. Yo, what? Why does it look like that? Is it crying? That's a tear. Oh my god, no one's taking. Yeah, no, this is serious. This is getting serious. Wait, why is he? I don't know. I forgot what I had to say at the start though, but it's just like, oh, I remember. It's like he's trying to not find a way to make him look weird, but just like he's kind of trying to devalue like his reasonings and stuff for doing. Like, it just, no matter which way. Oh my gosh, I can't fucking English today. I don't know about it though. The videos were years ago. That is true. That is true. It's not like a checkmate moment. It's just like a, you know. I guess I gotta hear what he has to say more, but I just don't really fully agree. I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of, I don't know. And the ones shown on the show, To Catch a Predator, yeah, that is the Chris Hansen shit, right? Because I remember the middle one, the pizza shit. But let me stop talking. What? I don't know what he has to say. Well, I'm clicking.
Actually one of your favorite creators, and you make multiple videos about him, and I saw this clip of you saying this right here.
I used to cover the show To Catch a Predator quite often. I love that show. I think it's morbidly hilarious, and I think what Chris Hansen did was very valuable.
So help me out real quick, Duck. I don't know if you know this, but Chris Hansen actually posts all his catches on YouTube. So my question to you is, should Chris Hansen stop posting these catches on YouTube, and also should he stop doing it entirely?
I don't really think it's one that should be made at all.
You see, I'm in the belief that this is a very, very dangerous rhetoric, because just on my channel alone, we have caught multiple registered offenders that have actual victims that have been let out and are trying to do it again. So I know you're in the belief that, you know, predator catchers really don't help anything, but, you know, I think me and my audience are in the belief that we do help. I mean, if you guys watch my videos, we literally have police commending us on the work that we do.
Look, man, look, so I respect the hell out of what y'all do, because I agree with it 100%. Like, these guys, those type of people need to get caught. So I'm going to do my justice and write up what I know and everything like that.
Y'all be safe, man, doing this, man.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you. Do you guys need anything else from us?
I'll give you a call.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro, be safe. Good job, guys. Another one bites the dust.
Thank you. Then, not even addressing me, there's multiple channels out there with 100+ convictions, not arrest, conviction. Alex Rosen, People vs. Predators, Black Hebrew. These men all together have almost over 500 convictions of predators that are trying to prey on children. I think that is something that should stay on YouTube, and I think that is something that should be created. And I mean, Duck, if we weren't able to post these on YouTube, and if we weren't able to create them, how else would you react to these Chris Hansen videos, man?
To Catch a Predator might just be one of the greatest TV shows ever created.
Stop the cap.
But before we begin, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, MyHeritage.
Oh, no.
I was about to say, did you just give me a sponsor to another nigga video?
No, we're not gonna give you no ad time here, but this ad is gonna come up later. Trust me.
So I'm getting... Okay, now he got caught. Yeah. Holy yap. Oh my gosh. Unless it's follow up, I'm gonna skip for now. Okay.
And let's get back to it. Personally, I'm of the opinion that people really shouldn't be taking the law into their own hands, especially when it comes to something as sensitive as this.
I just love that he's trying to make this point, because the point of a
This off topic, bro. Why is your do-rag slowly coming off your head, bro? Bro, just wear a beanie at this point.
vigilante is someone that takes the law into their own hand. But the thing about people like me, Oma, Skeeter, Alex, is we don't take the law into our own hands. We report everything to the police. We are snitches. We love the police.
Yeah.
That's why every single video, we always get the police involved. Now, I got a question for you guys. If someone had a drug dealer hit them up, and said drug dealer said, hey, I want to meet you here to sell you drugs, and you gotta go meet them there, and they confess to you to everything, saying, yes, I have the drugs and I do want to sell it to you. You then call the police, and the police arrive and they arrest them. Are you a vigilante, or are you just a citizen reporting a crime? It's the same thing with these EDPs.
Yeah.
They come out, they admit that they're coming to meet a young cupcake, and all we do is just report it to the authorities. We are just citizens.
Do I support the guys who are doing stuff like that? Well, no, not really. But also, I don't really care if you find yourself in a situation like that, because you shouldn't have been putting yourself in a situation like that. So don't get me wrong, the treatment or like the consequences that these guys face is not the issue I have with this content. If anything, it's really the lack of consequences that they face and the reasons that the guys making this content are doing it. Some are better than others, don't get me wrong. Some of these channels seem to have managed to get in with local law enforcement, or they've developed a better understanding of what exactly they need for.
Yeah, I don't know how recent this video was made, but I mean, still, like, if you watch the videos or at least skim through it, yeah, he's always involving the cops. Like, yeah, there's other predators, or there's other predator catchers. If y'all ever be on like Twitter, and stuff like that. Like, oh man, it's been, I said like a good 2 months ago, bro. Like there was just mad videos just getting recommended on my like homepage. I just see freaking predators getting slapped, beat, all this, bro. No cops involved, so they're just getting beat and getting thrown out, and then they could probably repeat it if they wanted to. If they really wanted it bad enough, they could just repeat it and not really have to face, like, you know, that type of punishment. They just have to deal with local people. But it's like they, you know, that's who I would expect you to come for, to be honest with you. But you know, let them cook, I guess. Let them cook.
For the cops to actually be able to do something, but still you should probably just be leaving this kind of shit up to, you know, law enforcement.
I mean, I agree as well. I wish that all these dudes would face legal consequences from all the groups that I've worked with. From
Okay, is he actually talking about Jidion? Because it sounds like he's complaining about the bad shit and saying, yes, that's it. Yeah, let's leave what I'm like. It doesn't really sound like it's fully direct. He's just trying to make a person like a, it's like he's trying to make him his scapegoat or something. I don't get it. It's like he's making Jidion the scapegoat. I don't feel like this is really directed towards him. The way he's making it sound like the way he's describing it, I don't really think Jidion really fits that description. You feel me? But yeah, it for sure does sound like he's complaining about the insane predator hunters. Yeah. Yeah, it don't really feel right here. I don't know.
Oma to Skeeter to Alex to so many others on my decoys that do it on their own. I know that every single case is solid and these dudes are guilty and they should all be convicted. But you're making it out here seeming like, yo, these dudes are just getting out scot-free and, you know, there's no consequences. Brother, this video that you made is about me. So me alone, I have almost 4 million subscribers, and each of my videos literally get millions upon millions of views just on YouTube. That's not even counting Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all those other platforms.
Nah, bro, we get it, bro. I'm playing.
And so you're telling me that a guy that's getting blasted out to millions upon millions of people to be known as a predator, that isn't a consequence? I don't know about that, buddy.
Because a lot of the times these guys aren't working with the police, or they don't get the right information, they don't capture the right evidence, and all they've done is create a more careful predator who's going to face no consequences. And if you can't understand why people creating more careful and...
That's exactly what it's talking about. The people that are not involved in law enforcement and are taking it into their own hands thinking they're fucking Batman. They beat on the predator. They let him go. Bro, he's going to repeat it. He's probably going to relocate to a different state, to a different town, to a different city, and start the process over, just like that. Like, yeah, I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, I did hear him out, though. I'm hearing him out, but it's just, yeah, this ain't it, bro. It's not. I get his intention with it, though, but I just feel like Jidion is the person that this shouldn't really be directed towards him. See, look, just like the comments that I was just talking about in the beginning of the video, like before we even started, it's kind of like what he's doing. I don't think he fully understands or has fully like grasped a full-on Jidion video. I don't think he's fully watched the video, which is fine. You probably don't got time to do that, but like, you know, it doesn't take long to just skim through a video or like really check, you know what I mean, to verify a source. You know, it's not really. This should be directed towards kick. Yes. I see so many. The amount of kick streams I've seen of predators getting beat, no law enforcement or nothing, bro, for content. I'm like, nigga, come on, bro. Yeah, exactly. That's literally where it's happening. It's just kick. I just feel like, yeah, Jidion, scapegoat. I'm telling you, scapegoat. He doesn't need to be directed here. I'm gonna be honest.
More aware predators while they're trying to put predators behind bars is a bad thing. Well, don't know how to explain that one to you.
Well, I don't know how to explain to you that it's hard to be a careful predator when everybody in the world knows that you're a predator, but I can't explain that one to you.
But like I was saying, one of the main issues I have with this kind of content and what we're really talking about today is I think a lot of the guys who do this almost forget, I guess, what exactly it is they're doing and what the goal really should be. Because like I was saying earlier, I think a lot of these dudes end up doing this only to benefit themselves, not really to protect potential victims of child predators. And to sort of highlight this, we're going to be looking at this clip from our old old friend Jidion.
So now that he's about to talk about me, there's a couple.
It's just like, yeah, PK, like I'm low key like, what? Like the more he talks, I just feel like he's dragging it now. Cause I'm just like, yo, what? I just feel like he's dragging it now, bro. Like, you just sound. The mom called. I'm telling you, but y'all remember the video from Thursday? The 1 TB of child corn. Y'all remember that? You can't tell me he didn't do nothing in that. He did a lot of things. A lot of things went down. Dude literally got arrested on the spot. Set him up and everything. Nigga, even the Uber driver was on it. Like, bro, you can't tell me he didn't plan that like perfectly and got bro caught. You can't tell me, bro. He ain't like, come on, bro. Like, I get it. He's doing it for content, but he's not just doing it for content though. Like, he's making that his content. Wow, you know, you can tell he's taking this shit serious. You can tell. He wouldn't really care to get him arrested if, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be the one to try to justify his actions, because obviously I'm not Jidion. But why would you just arrest a predator for fun? You know, you wouldn't just do that just for fun, unless you wanted to, I guess. Do what you got to do. But, you know what I mean? You're doing it with the good intention of getting him off the street, because he is a danger. The fuck? I don't know. What's your theory though? This is a bandwagon on the whole Jidion is faking. I agree. I mean, you know, I'm with you on that. I'll say I'm with you on that, because I've been seeing some stuff here and there. So he must have just been seeing it a lot on his feed or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I just wouldn't be enticed to make something like this. I don't know. Like, we've been watching Jidion on this for a minute, so like, I feel like, you know, if cops weren't involved, okay, cool, I could see that. But he literally shows the records, like multiple names. Every time he, like, if y'all subscribe to his channel, every time something happens, he posts the freaking names, their bill picture, their what's the shit called, bro? He'll show them in jail. That's what I'm trying to say. I forgot the name. I'm slow right now. I'm sorry, but it's like, come on, I don't know.
Couple things that I realized while watching his video that I wanted to point out to you guys. In this particular video, sadly, we did not.
Yes, public records. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm so slow right now. The lead public records, the mug shots, all that. Like, it shows everything that we need to know, and you could most likely verify it too if you really wanted to like do your research. It's not really hard to like check stuff if you really want to like verify.
Not get the arrest, but he did call the authorities. They did put him in cuffs, and they did take his phone and everything, and they made a report about him. But what I realized is in August's video, he never at one point showed any of the police presence in the original video. All he showed in the background is just me talking to the guy. So I just find it funny how he talks about, yeah, they never get police involved.
I don't get
anything
that.
Like that.
I don't.
And while he's showing a visual representation of no police getting involved, when in fact in the original video we did have police involved. And I also find it funny that out of all the videos to make a video about me in, he decides to pick one where we didn't get the arrest, but the 3 before that, we literally got arrested in all 3 of those.
Like, it's, wait, does he edit? What you mean? You talking about August or what you mean? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how August overlooked that though. Like, seriously, Ducky. I'm sure he probably do. I don't know. I just feel that would have been so easy to just like debunk. You telling me you put the portion of where he was just talking to him, but then put the portion of when he's talking to the cops. Probably 10 minutes after that whole thing, he probably was in the car with the cops. I don't know. Some off here, man. Like, something's real off. Like, it's not that hard to just watch something for a few minutes and just be like, okay, yeah, he actually, you know, like it's a current pattern in all his videos. I don't know.
So I just find it funny that he specifically picks the video that we didn't end up getting the arrest, and he specifically doesn't show any of the police presence. And later on in the video, I noticed another thing, but I'm gonna get into that later.
clip that we're talking about today kind of...
If he didn't and just recorded this as a voiceover, then I can understand the misunderstanding. Yeah, that is true. That's where editing does come into play, because if he did edit it, like if he did edit this himself, then that just shows that he's trying to make a narrative, you know, a wrong narrative. If he does consider me a hater, yeah, no, that's for sure weird activity, bro. I mean, shit, honestly, he probably is his own editor, bro. Like, you don't gotta do too much to edit stuff like this. You just kind of have to do a voiceover and just have a video over it. So he most likely is his own editor, but I could be wrong. So, you know, I don't want to just jump into conclusions like how he is. But, you know, I just feel like either way though, like, it doesn't take, you can leave just verify it. You can leave, watch a video, scroll to the end of the video, see what the consequence, see what he, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's not that hard.
Caught me off guard because a lot of people have sent me Jidion's predator catching content, and really, if I'm being completely honest, I thought it was kind of some of the better stuff on YouTube when it comes to that genre. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, I still wouldn't call it like good necessarily. It has all the issues that all this kind of content has, but Jidion does seem to normally try and get what the police need to do something, and a lot of his videos do end with these guys getting arrested. Now, I don't know how many of them have actually been charged.
So why are we making this?
It's probably not that many. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Correct me if I am, please.
You see, if you're going to be making a video critiquing me, I think it should be in the best interest, not even for yourself, but for your audience that doesn't know who I am, to at least do the bare minimum of research. But since you said, please correct me, let me help you out.
Like, bro, come on, man. Jesus, dude.
But it does seem like the majority...
Wait. Or, Jada, you should have cut that out, bro. Why you... Bro, you gotta cut that out, bro. See, tell me you just standing the whole time, bro.
But it does seem like the majority...
Nah, Jidion didn't edit this video, bro. He ain't no way he edited this video, bro.
Majority of these videos do end with a guy in cuffs. He seems to generally take it pretty seriously. He's not...
The flex, hey, man. The flex. He said, I'm collecting these boys like Pokemon, man. I got them gone. Except I'm not keeping them, though.
Not just going out trying to like beat these guys up for fun. He confronts them professionally. It doesn't ever seem like he's really just trying to get a rise out of somebody for content. For the most part, it's pretty level-headed stuff. And as far as the genre goes, like I said, it's some of the better stuff on YouTube, I think.
Thank you for the glaze, even though it was only for 20 seconds.
So, I'm just confused. Like, everything you say, it's like, it just sounds like you're backtracking now. It's really inconsistent. You know, I mean, like, I would just expect you to just keep that same energy and like try to nitpick here and there, but hey.
And saying, you know, you kind of did spend the first 5 minutes of the video kind of subliminally comparing me to the other people, you know, and we all know.
If someone asked him his body count and he asked what kind, I wouldn't bat an eye. What kind? Yeah, nah, you got it, bro. You know, matter of fact, I'm not curious no more.
Not everybody watches the entire video, but I do appreciate the glaze. But I do want to talk about the video title, because the video title is "This Prey Catcher Has Went Too Far." You know, I made a similar video with almost that exact same title, but those prey catchers that I was talking about in the example that I used was literally a YouTuber shooting a predator in the face with a paintball gun and not calling the police at all. And then my other example was literally 30 college students setting up a 21-year-old with an 18-year-old, and when that 21-year-old met said 18-year-old, they then attacked him and called him a P3DO. So those are my examples for these prey catchers went too far. So I'm just so curious, what could I have done that could warrant that title?
Oopsies. Oh, we glitching. That shit pissed me off. Yeah, that whole shit was weird. I'm not gonna lie, that whole shit was weird. Like, I think you see he was like off a dating app or some shit like that. Like, bro, what? How you gonna call me predator when I'm off a dating app? The minimum is 18, I think, right? It did happen in Texas. I forgot the name, bro. The school name, it was some ironic ass shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was like, yo, the irony is crazy, but
too far. So I'm just so curious, what could I have done that could warrant that title, in your opinion?
I think a lot of these guys sort of get to a point where they almost start to forget what they're doing, and maybe that's what we're seeing here. I'm going to show you guys the clip in full, and then we're going to go through it.
Hold on. You made a 15-minute long video about me because you don't like the meme ad that I use to promote my website, that I use to fund my
I'm confused.
operations and pay my employees. So I got this whole video made about me because I put an ad in a prey catch video, and I guess he doesn't like that.
Why am I had to pause it. It's glitching, bro. What the hell? But he literally just made an ad in between. This is probably what the ad part is for, because he said it's going to be used later on.
Made about me because I put an ad in a prey catch video, and I guess he doesn't like that. But I also find it coincidental that you put an ad in a video about you not liking an ad in a prey catching video.
So before we begin, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, MyHeritage.
And I'm not dissing you on the fact that, you put an ad in your video, get your bag. I just find it kind of weird that out of your last 18 videos, and you guys can go check, I counted, this is the only video that has an ad in it.
You see? And he watched the videos and did his research, and it probably didn't take him long at all. This is what you should have done. Because he look at all those red bars. Look at all those red bars. He was watching. He was watching. If he didn't watch, he for sure skimmed through it, though, at least. That's the best you could do. This is what you should have done to at least verify. You probably wouldn't make this video after that, but we'll see. Well, if he's probably not gonna push it after this, though. Hopefully he realizes it ain't. I don't know.
So I just find it really coincidental that out of all the videos you could have put a MyHeritage ad in your videos, you chose the video that you don't like an ad about. I don't know. I just find that funny, y'all. I just
kind of ironic.
But I really can't help but feel like editing something like this and making something where you're talking about what Jidion's talking about here in this style is in poor taste. To me, it's just a genre of content that should be treated a little bit more seriously, because these guys are trying to catch these predators. That's a completely different thing than, for example, making a video where you make fun of somebody who was on the show to catch a predator. Because when you're watching that show, you know that those guys are fucked. That show was done with law enforcement. They all got arrested. Like, you knew what was going to happen to them. With these guys, it's not really the same thing. Like, it's kind of weird to edit a video in this style when, like I mentioned earlier, you could just be making a significantly more safe, cautious, and aware predator who's going to be a more effective predator.
And you know what? You're totally entitled to your own opinion, and I'm actually going to ask my audience, do you guys think I should tone down the ad? Do you guys think I should just make it just a regular thing? I want to hear what you guys have to think. Bro, I don't know if Duck thinks I'm out here being like a mad scientist or something, creating super predators and stuff.
I just feel like that wasn't really that deep. But hey, man, at the end of the day, bro, people are gonna find ways to get the bag. You gotta make something out of none, bro. Like, I niggas can't do this for free. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have all this and do this for free. Let's be honest. It's not no money hungry shit, but it's just like a, multiple lanes. Yeah, he does have a Patreon. Yeah, I think he posts like, that's probably like more like the videos we probably see now. Those videos probably been on his Patreon. I think that's what he does. Like, he has like Patreon exclusive videos people see probably like weeks early or something like that. But yeah, he does.
Stuff like that. But Doug, listen, my man, literally every single time we make these videos, we always get law enforcement involved. They get their names, they get all their information. If they make the arrest, boom, they're in the system. If they don't make the arrest, boom, they're still in the system because they're making reports on them and they're taking their phones and they're doing all this, yada, yada, yada. And then also on top of all that, we're then blasting their face out to millions of people so that way their local community or maybe wherever else they may go to knows what these people are about. So, I don't know why you keep on saying I'm making super predators. It's hard to be a super predator when everybody knows you're a predator.
Like, we're talking about catching people who want to prey on children. Maybe limit it to one explosion effect? I don't know. Just a thought. Also, like,
limit it to one explosion effect. Oh my, yo, no, I ain't never heard that before. Oh, nah, man. Oh, he has an editing preference. Okay.
Using EDP as like a meme in this advertisement seems like really poor taste, because that's like one of the biggest examples of how this stuff usually ends. EDP didn't go to jail. Nothing happened to EDP. Sure, he was banned off YouTube, but like he didn't go to jail and then he got caught trying to do it again. Like, you're kind of exposing yourself here, guys. You're using the most famous example of why your content is kind of a bad thing and doesn't really work as a way to advertise your content. You're kind of showing your hand there that you don't really care if these guys don't actually end up going to jail.
Doug, how does it make any remote sense that I don't care about making sure that these guys go to jail because I use EDP as my advertisement? The reason why I use EDP is because he is synonymous with being a P3DO, because he made his name synonymous with being a P3DO. When you're a monster and you do something monstrous like that, your name's gonna always be associated with that. The same reason why we say Diddy all the time. Whenever you do something gross and disgusting, your name is gonna be associated with that.
That's facts. That is facts. Man, the amount of no Diddy's I've heard after that whole Diddy shit came out. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, you get labeled as that adjective, as that verb, as you know, you're as soon as it's like that, you're done. You're done.
And I'm not gonna just let it fizzle out, you know? We're gonna make sure it lives on forever and ever. I know you probably want it to fizzle out and no one talk about EDP again, but I think we all should always talk about him.
Said made a comment on the dude, now I'm gonna ignore him.
Because we all should remember what he did.
Thirdly, it seems like conversations between a predator and what they think is a minor is a really strange thing to lock behind a paywall. Like, why would you want to read that? I mean, you want to read the chats between a guy role-playing as a little girl or a little boy and a man who thinks that they are a little girl or a little boy? Why the fuck would you pay for that? Like, that's crazy behavior. Selling it is just as weird. Like, you realize that's what you're doing, right, Jidion? You're essentially selling child predator roleplay transcripts.
What? Why are you saying it like it's his fault? Bro, what? Wait. I gotta be tripping. Yo, like, I know I'm still tired. I'm not all the way there, but I gotta be tripping, bro. What?
That's weird, dude.
Is it though? I mean, in Chris Hansen's videos, he literally does the readings of what these guys are talking about. Is it weird to read?
I know he not racist or nothing, but like, I know a lot of niggas are gonna be like, nah, he just racist, bro. Like, cause he black. And I ain't gonna lie, I can see that. But I don't think this is the case. I just feel like a lot of people would take it there too, honestly. Like, no bullshit. But it's like, bro, these are not factual. These are really not factual. I don't.
That stuff, if I could make it free for the internet to read, I would, because it would just show the internet even more that these dudes are guilty. But YouTube doesn't allow that type of content on the platform. So I have it behind a paywall for only $4.45 a month, and people can read it and they can get a better grasp on, wow, this dude is even worse than I thought from what I seen in the video. I mean, this might be hard for you to realize, but not all 13,000 of my members on EDPWatch.com are subscribed to the website to read the chat logs or be in the giveaway or even to watch the extended early cuts and all that. Some of them literally just pay because they appreciate the work that we do and they want to support financially. I mean, I could say the same thing about why people would even buy your Patreon back in the day. Like, I don't know what you could have had behind that paywall that people wanted to pay for, but I'm guessing that they just wanted to support you. It just sucks that you took it down. So it's weird to read the chat log, but it's not weird to watch it on stream, right?
I can't go to jail. My life would be ruined. Right. Could be locked up for 20 years.
Yep.
And then you say, do you trim your blank?
Okay.
Jesus, Jeff.
Right?
And then the whole, like...
The comments when in the August video, you did not. Nah, bro, hold on. Which one? Jidion or August? He said, nah. Oh, are you talking about the yours? Oh shit. Nah, I gotta see what she said. Let me find a Pico Rider, bro. Let me find out. Hold on. Jumped on the attack way too early, my little dude. He said my little dude. He called you littlest bro. Yeah, he's calling you the littlest of bros. Little bro. Prime attack is when Ro is in bed asleep. Still his fan for me, please. It's just hella noisy. Oh my god. Not you low-key dissing me, though. This still his fan for me. So that shit do be hella noisy, huh? Damn. I know it. Y'all be lying to me. Y'all be lying to me. Rowbell, I know that shit be loud. I know it be loud. I know it be loud. Nah, W Pika, bro. W Pika. I got a heart these. I'm about to say, out of all things, you could low key, if you said something about my fan, shit, I would understand. I would understand. Cause that shit annoys me too. But my little brother, he gonna throw a hissy fit if I don't let it play, if I don't let it, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he needs his own room. He wouldn't know, exactly. He wouldn't know unless he watched the stream or just watched the video. He just didn't take a minute out of his day to at least listen, which I don't care. You know, it is what it is. Cause at the end of the day, y'all understood where I came from, and you were in the stream. You know where I came from. That's I wouldn't believe that. But yeah, W Pika, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Oh my, he said prime attack is when Ro was in bed. Yeah, bro. He know. Real. At first, I thought you pulled up on August video comments. I'm like, yo, I'm like, what did you say? Whole team's talking about me.
Disney's sweepstakes shit where it's like, you can win a predator catching experience. Like, are you shitting me? Jidion fans got really mad at me the last time I said this, but I'm gonna say it again. I'd have a really hard time believing that like the average Jidion fan is an adult. If you just read through the comments on his channel, you can kind of tell that that's like not the case. Like, look, I'm gonna give Jidion the benefit of the doubt here and say that if he ever did this, that he'd probably make sure that it was an adult. But I mean, he doesn't say that in this advertisement, which you have to. So I don't know, man. That's just a little wacky for me. A little much. Again, even if he did say adults only, treating this as some sort of like fun, cool
I can concur. I am an adult. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. I'm about to say, they're mostly, for sure, yeah. Like, for sure, you know how Jidion came up in his pranks and stuff like that. You know, obviously, like, it's not gonna be a good majority of adults, but it's probably a lot of young adults. But if we're talking about middle age, you know, I'm talking about grown folks, nah, for sure not. But you know, he's still doing stuff that, like, you know, adults would approve of, or at least I think they should, you know. But it's not like he's making kid content, because it's obviously not kid content. Oldest he'll get is high schoolers. Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Especially for me, nah. I checked like my age shit. It was a few months ago though, but I usually see like a lot of people my age that watch my videos, like the age range from like 21 to 23, and I'm like, oh, okay. But you know, who isn't gonna? You know what I mean? Kids always gonna be in the internet, bro. Can't change your
experience. Like, you would be meeting a person who wants to have sex with a child. Who the fuck wants to do that?
Every video that he makes about me, he has to always throw a shot at my fans. But to none the least, I do agree with him on this. The winner of the sweepstake is gonna be 18 or older. Like, I should have put that in there. It was in my mind to put that in there, but I'm gonna make sure in the next video that it is. So you are 1000% right on that, Duck. Yeah. But at the end of the day, What's weird about wanting to get a child predator arrested and also meeting your favorite YouTuber? I mean, you're a huge fan of Chris Hansen. If you want to give away to go do a catch with Chris Hansen, Duck, be honest with me. Would you tell him no?
To Catch a Predator might just be one of the greatest TV shows ever created. And I really think the fact that Jidion or his team or whoever put this together thinks that the average person would be interested in that enough to pay for it really sort of shows some true colors and is indicative of these guys not doing this for the right reason. You should not be having fun doing this. Reading chat logs from guys who have no issue exploiting and ruining the lives of children, meeting up with them, making jokes about it. These are not things that I think you should really want to do.
So Duck, you're mad at me for doing something that I know that my audience that love watching the prey catching videos would love to be a part of. Like, I mean, I know it's weird to you, but to shame a bunch of other people for wanting to participate in that, I think is a little bit beneath you, man. And I honestly thought better of you. All of a sudden, my paywall all of a sudden just discredits everything that I've done, and it automatically shows like, oh, yep, he's making money, so he's doing this for the wrong reason. Of course I have to make money. I have a team of over 20 people. That is how we're able to post 2 catches a week. We're traveling all over the US, Airbnbs, decoys, security, filmers, a whole bunch of editors. Yes, I need money so that way we can take care of all our people, because it's not just me doing the Lord's work. Everybody that works for me.
Also, if we follow the same logic, Chris Hansen should never air the show. That's exactly it. Like, they should all be in the same boat. You should put them all in the same boat if that's the case. It's like Lee, the way he's talking about him, like he's using him as a scapegoat. I don't know. Like, there's so many other people you could direct this towards, but I feel like this is not an accurate description of Jidion's content when it comes to pred catches, because I feel like he goes more above and beyond than the people that don't involve law enforcement, because he's actually trying to get them gone. Because just beating their ass and leaving them is not going to do nothing. They're going to recover and repeat the process. So he's trying. I feel like he's trying. He's trying more than most. And you gotta respect it and appreciate it. You know. I didn't really think he'd get a complaint in this type of way, though. That's interesting.
I consider them the exact same way, and everybody that watches the videos and support, I consider that they're helping this cause too. So it's a problem when I have a paywall, but it's not a problem when your goat has a paywall.
There are more than 100 episodes on our streaming service, ad-free and uncensored at WatchTrueBlue.com. Use the code YouTube24 to watch them all for $2.50.
Yeah, August too. I know you're not watching this, but yeah, I tried to watch a Chris Hansen video on YouTube. When I was streaming on YouTube, my stream got shut down. He's getting paid for this. Paid. He smited my video live. I didn't get to watch the shit. YouTube blocked it. He's making money off of this, man. Big money. He probably copyrighted you too. You can't post it on here without, you know what I mean, getting a copyright. You know what I mean? You gonna see it. He not gonna let you off the hook, bro. He get money off this, man.
Or YouTube Year for $20 off an annual subscription.
Maybe they're seeing it differently. I don't really know how you would. To me, there is no reasonable explanation on the planet as to why you would be trying to sell the chat and audio logs of child predators, and I don't think there's a logical or reasonable explanation for the people buying it either. Everybody's weird in this. Well, guys, what do you think?
So yeah, guys, he hit us with the weird allegations. Those are the one allegations that you just can never beat. So we just gotta pack it up here, man. Well, guys enjoyed the video.
I mean,
please do not go and send him any hate at all.
Well, I feel like that was sarcastic.
Genuinely, it is all love and everything. And a couple things I am going to be taking into critique and everything, but mostly I want to hear what you guys think. Should I tone down the ad? Should I make it different? I want to know from my audience, not from his.
Don't tell me the video's not up no more. This video has it even been 24 hours with this video? Oh, it's been 3 days. It's been 3 days. I'm gonna bring Deck with me on a pred catch. Oh shit. Let me find out. Let me find out it's unity at the end of the day. Hey, that's better. That's better than just beefing. Let me find out.
opinion. I want to know from you guys, because you guys are the ones that are supporting this cause, and so whatever you guys says goes. But man, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be posting a catch this week. Peace. So yeah, guys, he hit us with the weird allegations. Those are the one allegations that you just can never beat. So we
Jidion, did you just duplicate the clip and forgot to cut this part out? Did you? Hold on.
hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be posting a catch this week. Peace. So yeah, guys, he hit.
I'm like, what? Did you just put us in Genjutsu? No, I'm not going for that. Genjutsu of hell. I seen it.
Gonna catch this week.
He really posted the same clip twice, and I really watched it still. He responded already? Oh shit, quick. Oh damn, he been responded. Okay. Hey shit. Well, I guess it's a two-parter in one. It's a two-parter in one.
I'm gonna try and keep this one short. You know I'm pretty famous for being able to do that. If you're watching this video, then you probably read the title, which is going to be something like Jidion responded to me. And if you're watching this video, then you probably watched Jidion's response to me. And last one, promise. If you watched that one, then you may or may not have watched my original video on Jidion, where I expressed an opinion on an ad in his video that didn't really sit right with me. Now, I watched Jidion's response to me, and for the most part, I feel like it's a pretty good level-headed response. There's a few nitpicks I have, but I'm not really going to be getting into those. This is not going to be like an in-depth review of his response. Don't really think there's a need for that. But after that response went live, me and Jidion started talking on Instagram, and we ended up on a Discord call for 3 hours. And we talked for 3 hours. A lot of it was calm. Some of it was not so calm. But at the end, I think it was a pretty good, productive conversation. I think I changed his mind on some things. He definitely changed my mind on some things. And that's really what we're here to talk about today, because while
You gotta respect it. Talk like men, you know what I mean? Let me get your respect. Let me get your perspective. You get mine, and hopefully, you know, we can make amends. At the end of the day, there's no hate. It's just like I just want you to see where I'm coming from, and I'm trying to see where you're coming from. And, you know, there's two sides to the story, bro, or not really two sides to the story. There's I just used that quote at the worst time. That shit was not needed. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Play. Oh my goodness.
I'm going to stand by a lot of the stuff I said in that video. I realize that some of it was wrong, and I'm not afraid to be wrong. Dare I say, I even kind of like to be wrong. I like to learn new things. I like to better myself as a human. I'm a grown man. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you. Okay? And I'm going to be telling you a little bit about just that today. But first, some context if you have like no fucking clue what I'm talking about. Earlier this week, I made a video on Jidion, who is like a pretty popular predator catching YouTuber. And I made the video because I saw a clip either on Twitter or Reddit of this advertisement, like this plug he does for basically like a membership service to his content that just didn't really sit right with me. I didn't like the way it was edited. I didn't like the tone. I thought some of the things that were offered in the membership were kind of strange. And given the seriousness of something like catching a predator, I just kind of thought the ad was in poor taste. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys straight up. I'm like not going to back down on any of that. Me and Jidion talked about it. We kind of agreed to disagree. I just don't think the tone of that ad and some of the things that were offered are really appropriate. And I'm just not going to sit here and try and defend myself over and over again. I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people seem to think the same thing I think. It's an ad that's kind of in poor taste. However, since I was talking
I ain't mad at this. You know, I ain't got a problem with this.
About one of the biggest predator catching YouTubers, I ended up giving my thoughts on like predator catching content as a whole during the first half or so.
It was just everything besides that part where I was just like, you're kind of not making this sound, you know, credible.
Talking to Jidion for a while and just doing some like thinking on my own, my opinion has changed. Now, in a nutshell, what I said was I don't really think the whole predator catching genre belongs on YouTube. And my reasoning for thinking that was, one, because I think a lot of guys who are doing it, maybe not like the biggest guys, but just a lot of people who are doing it as copycats almost, are not doing it for the right reasons. And I still think that's true. But my second reason, and a bigger reason, was because I didn't really believe this kind of content did a whole lot to get the predators behind bars and to protect the victims. I was under the impression that these like vigilante stings never go anywhere, and that these guys are doing these stings knowing that nothing legally is really gonna happen to these guys, and I thought that was kind of strange. However, after looking into the numbers, after talking to Jidion, a lot of these guys end up being convicted, and another thing I ignored, and arguably my biggest mistake when talking about this content, is that I didn't really consider the impact that this has on not only the predator's life, but the community around them. Exposing these guys for what they are, telling their family, their wife, their children, letting them know that they're living with a monster, that people are living near a monster, that's invaluable. So even if these guys like weren't getting convicted, which I've learned a lot of them are, the impact to the local community is pretty fucking important, and I just kind of ignored.
But the need or negligence on his part to slander Jidion's credibility was unnecessary by editing out Jids. Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm telling you, like Jidion said in this video, like, just taking your time to at least do a little bit of research will go a long way. Like, this video probably wouldn't have been, like, the ad part, I get that, you know what I mean? I understand that part, because I guess the way he portrayed himself and the way he's making it seem like it's supposed to be, like, a happy thing when this is a serious situation. I get that. But, you know, just everything else, I'm just like, nah, man, like, you could have took your time. You could have spent like 5 to 10 minutes skimming through the video, and a lot of stuff would have been debunked. But it's like he kind of just, it's like he tried to find more stuff to put on him just because the ad stuff, I guess, wasn't enough. It wouldn't, like, you know, I don't know. It just didn't, it didn't fully feel like, it didn't feel like a direct diss or whatever he was, you know what I mean?
That aspect of it, and that was just a mistake on my end. Pretty stupid fucking thing for me to ignore, and objectively kind of a bad take. However, I would like to sort of explain why I said this, because there's definitely a reason, and I just want you guys to kind of understand where I was coming from. Okay? The guys who do this predator catching shit will attest to this, that when this first started, like when this first started hitting the internet, when people first started doing these like YouTube stings, local law enforcement and the district attorneys hated it. The evidence was like immediately getting thrown out. The police were not working with these guys. Like, just nothing really was coming from these guys doing these stings because the police wouldn't touch it, and neither would the DA. Every single story I read, every single video I saw on this shit, a few years ago, that was the case. It even got to the point where YouTube implemented a new community guideline where they wouldn't allow it on YouTube, and they still don't.
Reverse. Look at the Red Bull. I ain't gonna lie, I was looking at that at the start of the video. But I'm thinking, like, what if this cup low-key just gets more crushed, like, as the video goes by? That'd be kind of fun.
YouTube implemented
that. Wow. Why am I thinking about that?
Implemented a new community guideline where they wouldn't allow it on YouTube, and they still don't. If you don't contact the police or have the police present in these sting videos, YouTube will take down your video, because so many people back then were not even trying to get convictions or trying to get these guys arrested because they knew the police weren't going to touch it.
A lot of people do that now in recent times. Like Pika was saying, the kick streamers, you know, content creators, because a lot of people on Kick don't just do content, they're always on freaking Omega or whatever this is called, or just slapping up predators instead of putting them in jail or trying to get them convicted. It's like just dog water type of content, bro. Like, you know,
that's how it used to be. So that's kind of where my thought process of like, oh, these guys are doing this knowing that nothing's going to happen came from. Another mistake on my end, I'll admit it. I just assumed that was still the way things are. But they're not. A lot of local law enforcement agencies and district attorney offices these days are willing to work with these guys even if they're doing it on YouTube. Even if it's not officially connected to law enforcement, they are willing to take the evidence that these guys get, and they are using it to arrest these guys, charge them, and convict them. And because of a lack of research, and because I just assumed that things wouldn't change so quickly, I didn't even bother really to check if that was the case. I thought it was the same as it was a few years ago, where these guys were going into it knowing that they weren't going to be able to get these guys arrested, and in my mind, what they were doing by doing that was basically just creating a more careful predator who's not going to get caught in a sting next time. Which again, even in that scenario, I was still ignoring the fact that they get exposed to their community, but that's where my mind was. And I'm going to be completely honest, I kind of allowed myself to just almost get in like an internal echo chamber where I was seeing so many people say similar things, where I kind of convinced myself that this kind of content is bad for the children. That these guys...
See, that's where like the majority of rules type thing, like, Like usually, it's like if you hear a rumor about somebody and you automatically assume that's how they are, when you could probably just ask them and they could probably confirm it for you if you just ask them the whole time. That's probably, it's like one of these situations, bro. Like, all you had to do is really see for yourself. Because if you get clouded by these other people's opinions, then yeah, you're done. And then that's how you're gonna portray that person for a long time until you speak to him like how he did. So hey, you know, you can't be mad at him. He's explaining himself. He's, you know, you can't keep it at being. Keep it at being. It's not a bad perspective, you know.
Guys were only creating more careful predators. They weren't doing a whole lot to prevent anything happening. And
man,
after like really evaluating that mindset, it's just wrong. Like, even if these guys aren't charged or convicted, which, let's be honest, it does happen, their name and their despicable actions have still been plastered in front of millions of people, and there's a chance that it might have scared them straight and they're not going to try it again. Like, at the end of the day, even if they aren't actually getting convicted, I would rather that a decoy be the victim than an actual child. Not only that, I think I allowed a lot of the bad content in this genre to sort of sway my opinion a lot more than it should, because like I said in that original video, I think the guys who are doing this not to like get convictions or actually help children, but to just like lure them to a back alley and beat the shit out of the guy. Like I said, I have no sympathy for the guy getting the shit beat out of him, but when I say people are doing it for the wrong reasons, that's really what I'm talking about. Now, not letting myself off the hook here, I made an implication in that original video that I thought Jidion was doing it for the wrong reasons, and after talking to him, I simply don't. Me and him definitely did not see eye to eye about everything. We don't see eye to eye now, don't get me wrong, even though we had a good conversation, we definitely disagree on a lot, but the main thing that I came away with is that this guy is super passionate about what he does. And while, like I said, I'm going to maintain that I don't like the ad, I think it's in poor taste, I think it really hurts the
Red Bull did move. I haven't been looking. Yo, it's like these 2-minute increments. He's probably just like, man, the cuts are legendary, man. What?
But when I say
real precise cuts,
people are doing it for the wrong reasons.
Man must love his caffeine, dog. I only drank Red Bull like twice in my life, and that was when I was working 12-hour shifts back to back, dog. Oh my gosh, I didn't sleep. That I pulled an all-nighter. Worst mistake I ever did, bro. But that Red Bull had me up. I'm not gonna lie to you. But after after it wears off, though, man, I crashed. I was gone.
That's really what I'm talking about. Now, not letting myself off the hook here, I made an implication in that original video that I thought Jidion was doing it for the wrong reasons, and after talking to him, I simply don't. Me and him definitely did not see eye to eye about everything. We don't see eye to eye now, don't get me wrong, even though we had a good conversation, we definitely disagree on a lot, but the main thing that I came away with is that this guy is super passionate about what he does, and while, like I said, I'm going to maintain that I don't like the ad, I think it's in poor taste. I think it really hurts the seriousness that his videos generally have otherwise. Me making the implication that because he had a bad ad, he was doing this for the wrong reasons was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Me and him were talking, and he made a good point. It was something that I hadn't really considered. Look, it's really hard for me to like support the idea of vigilante justice, but protecting children is something that I'm very passionate about, which is why it's so disheartening to see thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people call me the worst names imaginable simply because I disagree with a YouTuber you like. I'll talk about that more later though. So when it comes to me not really loving the idea of vigilante justice, those negative feelings are far, far, far outweighed by the positive feelings that I have about these guys getting stopped before they can do anything to an actual child. And I value that. The sad truth is that a lot of law enforcement agencies are simply just not doing a lot to protect children in this sort of sphere we live in, where every kid is on the internet these days. And the more that I've really started to think about it, the more I've almost kind of started to think that these sorts of groups that do it correctly are
CP for me though. Like, I don't have much. I'm like, if I were to pick between coffee or water, I'm drinking water all day. So yeah, nah. If I get caffeine in my system, I'm probably gonna freaking shoot up, man. I'm probably a crackhead, dude.
Almost a necessity. The guys who behave in these ways just have.
Oh, have you seen the JFK leak? Nah, I've heard about it though. I've heard about it. I did not see the leak at all. I'm not aware at all, but I've heard about it.
Far too many avenues to find children and exploit children who don't know any better. And like, police just can't keep up even if they wanted to, which a lot of the times police don't. And that's not just for matters like this, but in general, like, police just can't handle all of this shit. And you know what? If these guys can get these guys behind bars or exposed in front of millions of people, this is not me just trying to like overcorrect. Seriously, I kind of struggle to like really.
Guess how many theories are proved? See, I've heard a lot of shit, like, apparently. I heard a lot of dumb shit, but probably none. Probably none. That's my guess.
Really vocalize what my problem with this was. Like I was saying, Jidion made a good point that these videos, this kind of pressure from the public, seeing that the police aren't doing anything, it shapes local communities. This affects local elections. And I mean, like, if you are getting handed to you on a silver platter evidence that in your area can be used and you're ignoring it, it's really hard to defend you. Like, Jidion talked to me about some of the cases that he's been on where these guys have...
Drum roll, please. I knew it. 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 I was like, it probably, because people, I know people be over the top with these theories, bro. They be thinking, oh my God, it's an alien that sniped them with a 50 cal from 250 meters away. Bro, come on, bro. They just be saying stuff, man. But, you know, I had a feeling they just ain't proof shit. Like, it's not what people expected. Had a feeling, bro. Had a feeling.
Have admitted things to police unprompted, and then nothing is done. Again, not a huge fan of the idea of vigilante justice, but what I hate a lot more is law enforcement and district attorneys, people who are supposed to serve the public and protect the public, sitting on their ass and doing nothing when threats are presented to them, like they do a lot, and not just in situations like this. I mean, seriously, with like all different kinds of crimes, how many times have you heard?
So I was laughing my ass off.
Heard in your local...
Bro, I would have been too, because like, y'all really thought y'all was on to something, but not, y'all wasn't even close.
Community or nationally that law enforcement was tipped off about this person, or they knew about them, or they were warned and they did nothing. At some point, it does kind of feel like maybe groups like this stepping in and forcing their hand might be what needs to happen. Is it ideal? I mean, obviously not. Ideally, they'd be able to work with law enforcement from the start. But I mean, if these guys are doing it by the book, they're gathering evidence that can be used in courts, they're taking the necessary actions to actually get these guys convicted, I don't really see what my problem was with it, and I don't see what the greater internet's problem seems to be with it either. All the other content where they're just beating them up or doing stupid shit with the predators, yeah, I get that. Again, those are the people doing it for the wrong reasons. But if it's working, if...
My old artists wanted me to believe that the CIA was saying itself. I mean, they are legit problematic, but to compare them to a world... Yeah, a world order is... Yeah. People just a little bit over the top, but of course there's a lot of stuff we don't know about, and they're not freaking saints or anything like that, but you know what I mean? It's, I wouldn't go over the top like that, you know. People just kind of be a little too, they be a little too much, but hey, if it was true, then I would have shut my ass up, but it is, you know, now that you think about it. I need some water. Like, not everything's into the fold. You're just like, it's like maybe we thought a little too harshly. Like, of course, there's a lot of stuff we don't know for sure, but you went a little too far in conclusions, gang. Let's be honest.
If law enforcement offices are accepting it, if the DA's office is accepting it, I don't really think there's room to complain. I know I said I was going to keep this short. I'm not, so I'm just going to roll with it. I want to talk about two more things real quick. One,
yeah, you a yapper just like me. This video probably going to be like 30 minutes, 40, 50, because I'm merging these two together. Killing your own president is the stupidest power move the government could ever do. Yeah, like, what? I don't know what made people think, why? He must have been hella corrupt, but I feel like, what? The government would, I don't think, no. I see, the thing is, I never thought of that. I never thought of it like that too, so I don't know, man. People, it's crazy how far people can go when, they have no idea how the story is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
One is kind of expanding upon what I mean when I say that people are doing this for the wrong reasons. Obviously, like we talked about, the guys who just lure these people out to beat them up. Again, who cares if a predator gets beat up? But I mean, you have to question why a person is really doing something like that. Are they really trying to protect children, or do they just want to be able to beat somebody up without any consequences? Which objectively is a weird desire to have. Secondly, I think a lot of guys end up treating this as a joke. Like, I don't know if these guys just sort of become desensitized to it or what it is, but I feel like a lot of the guys who do this, they end up making weird decisions that just leave you kind of scratching your head like, really? This is what you thought was appropriate while you were trying to imprison a predator? Hopefully we don't start another beef with this one. I hope we can kind of all come to like a reasonable conclusion here. Another popular guy who does this is Jidion, and while I think a lot of the times his videos are pretty good, an example of what I'm talking about is the few videos he's made where he sat down with a predator and said, okay, if you beat me at this video game, I won't call the police. And he sat down on a couch and he's played Super Smash Bros. Or like Mortal Kombat with a child predator. Now look, I'm pretty...
He be capping though, because I think he always called the police, but yeah, he be playing too much.
fucking certain, even if Jidion lost, he's still calling the police. But stuff like that, like the advertisement that Jidion put in his video, it rubs me the wrong way when you're talking about people who want to have sex with little children.
Yeah, that's true though, because it's like at the end of the day, this is a serious matter. I understand that. Yeah, it's like you're not taking this as serious as you should. But I guess that's where the YouTube and like, I guess you could say clip farming. They're trying to clip farm, trying to be funny, show their personality at the same time. But stuff like that, I wouldn't even want to crack jokes. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the people that do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're trying. Kill the president over a botched operation? Dog, no one is that stupid. But then again, we were talking about the dude who think triangles equal secret societies. Illuminati. I don't want to say it too loud. It says societies may or may not be Nazi, but like, what? Yo, people's thought processes, man. You never know how far someone could go. Like, bro, the brain is powerful.
How can you sit on a couch with a person like that and even entertain them? Like, how can you do that? I don't get that personally. That really rubs me the wrong way. And I think stuff like that is what people are talking about when they say people are just doing this for content. Because yeah, choosing to sit down with a predator and playing a video game with him is a weird thing to do. It really downplays the seriousness of what you're talking about. And I think stuff like that should be okay to say. And that sort of leads me to the final thing I want to talk about here. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but so the people who watched my video or watched like Jidion's response video and heard a guy say stuff like, one of my biggest complaints with predator catching content is that these guys don't get convicted enough, or at least that's what I thought. Or the people who heard me say that I don't like some of...
What's up? Tell me why. I'm gonna explain this. This is a real quick. Anybody in here playing Monster and know about Monster? I'm gonna just keep it being real quick. Alright? So I'm gonna fight Arkveld, a tempered monster, flagship monster on the title screen. I'm gonna fight bro. One of the hardest drones in the game. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna cook them. I invite some other people, SOS Flare, you know how the random hunters join up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They join up. One of them dies. So I'm like, alright, it's not that deep, let's just kill him. We're nearing to the end of the quest. The same nigga that got killed had the audacity to pull out capturing tools and let this nigga live. That wasn't your decision to make. I wanted him gone.
Wait,
and you killing him?
So it was your lobby, right?
It was my quest.
It was your quest.
It was my quest. And you capture a nigga. Did I authorize you to spare lives? No, I wanted him gone.
Why is that even?
I wanted him gone. Alexa, shut up, bro. I wanted him gone. And you telling me, not only do you have the audacity to get carded once, but you decide to pull out capturing tools, trying to preserve life. You just waltz up in my quest and now you want to save lives? Nah, bro. I wanted a new fresh pair of silver Tims, and you just let him live. You just let him walk off.
It's the fact that they can do that in your quest. That doesn't even make sense.
Y'all some SOS bandits, bro.
That should be up to the leader.
Y'all some SOS bandits, bro.
Pika said apologize to Alexa.
I'm not apologizing for shit. I'll keep it being.
Yo. I don't even know what she said, bro.
Nah, bro. I don't care about none of that shit, bro.
Nigga said, Alexa, shut up.
Nigga waltzed up in my hunt, captured my target.
That should be a leader thing, not like that shouldn't be up to anybody.
The objective wasn't to capture; it was to hunt. I wanted him gone.
So then,
oh my gosh.
So then, the objective is still a success either way, or is it?
Bro, that's not the. Yes, it's a win-win either way.
Okay, no, I was gonna say, do you have to kill him? I was gonna say that's even worse.
No, it's not that we don't have to kill him. We can capture him, but that's not my intention.
It's just for the rewards purposes.
I want him dead, gone.
It's for the parts, right?
I need my new fresh pair of Timbs. I need that.
What's the difference between catching?
You get more materials, but I need severed materials, and they're not giving them to me because folks keep capturing them
for armor purposes
and weapon purposes. I need that long sword. I need it in my arsenal, bro. I swear to you, I need it in my arsenal, bro. And you got idiots joining my hunts. Ooh, you gluttonous bitch. Let me leave y'all.
That just happened to me.
I wanted to cuss on my TikTok so bad, but I'm trying to change for the better, bro.
Bro, TikTok make you act up, man.
Bro. Let me leave. Nope, it's not worth it. Did you get Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate?
I copped it. Yeah, it's downloaded.
Okay, we gotta run tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, I'm vexed, bro. Oh, bro, the tears are in my eyes, bro. If you ever come across this stream, to the nigga who decided to capture Rowbell in front of my eyes, you gluttonous bitch. I hope you get carded for the next 3 rounds of your life, bro. I'll keep it a B. Next monster you fight, I hope that nigga cooks you, bro. Real rap. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
She get serious, man. She concerned. She concerned in the year 2500 and revive your dead body, upload to the internet and torture you for it. Yo, nah, if Alexa, that's a crazy ass give back. It's gonna be freaking Detroit Become Human. Nah, man, see, I be treating Alexa with respect. We was cool. We made amends Thursday. You remember that? We made amends, bro. We made amends. It was cool. Y'all heard it? Y'all heard the conversation. Alexa, that's my guy. That's my guy. But I didn't even know he was playing. That Monster Hunter shit gets serious. It get wicked. We didn't even finish the video. I dead ass forgot. Alright. Let's finish this up. Cause this is gonna be a pretty hefty it's gonna be a pretty hefty video for the YouTube.
Some of the stuff that Jidion is doing, I don't like the advertisement. I think it's in poor taste. To the people who heard of that and went to my YouTube comments or my Instagram or my DMs and began to call me a pedophile and a predator, you should be ashamed of yourself.
See, it's just like, yeah, okay, that's also weird too. Like, the lead happened in my video too. A dude called me a predator. It's like, this is a title a predator will make, and I'm like, I see, I'm like, I don't respond to hate comments, but one thing you're not gonna do is call me a predator, gang. That's the last thing you're gonna call me. Hell no. I'm like, what the fuck is up with you? Like, he must have thought I was agreeing or something with the video, but I'm like, bro, listen for the first 15-30 seconds, bro. I promise you, your mind will change after that. It's, come on, bro. Why would I support? Why would I believe that? Any functioning human being that understands tone would know. Like, it's not hard to figure. I don't know. I'm like, call me a predator is wild though. Like,
to sit there all high and mighty saying the work that Jidion does is so important, the work that all these guys does is so important, to act like you care about that and then turn around and call me a pedophile or a predator baselessly just because I don't agree with a YouTuber you like. I feel like if you did that, which a lot of you did, you are not near mature enough to talk about topics like this. I mean, seriously, that is some despicable shit, and if you did that, you're fucked up in the head. To baselessly accuse somebody of being the worst kind of human imaginable just because they have an opinion that you don't agree with, that's shameful. And I think it really shows that maybe you don't care about actual predators getting caught all that much, or you don't care about actual victims of predators all that much, if the word is that easy for you to throw around. I mean, we're talking about people who ruin the lives of the most innocent people on the planet, and because I made a YouTube video you didn't like, for you to call me a predator or a child predator sympathizer, not only should you be
I just called him wrong. Just call him wrong. He was just wrong. It wasn't factual. It was really just opinions and what he's seen on social media and didn't do enough research. Just say lack of research. You could just tell where his error was. And that's why I wasn't really that mad. It was just more of like, dude, just take 5 minutes out of your day. Promise you probably would have retracted a lot of those statements you made in the first video. But
ashamed of yourself. You should know you're a fucking idiot. And I'm sorry that you have to go through life possessing zero critical thinking skills. It must be pretty tough for you out there. However, with that being said, towards the end of our discussion, Jidion invited me on a predator catch, and you know what? As a person who's criticized them pretty heavily, I think it's only fair that I do my due diligence and actually see the ins and outs of what goes on during one of these. So, yeah, don't know how serious Jidion was. Guess we'll figure that out. I'm always willing to learn.
So that comment was real. He really is finna take him on a catch. Okay.
Something new, and for something I've criticized pretty heavily, seems like the best way to learn about it is to just do it. So we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Just like, you know, I'm glad you learned from your mistakes already though. The best way to learn or to really know about something is to actually do it and go to the source. Perfect.
But yeah, I think that's really all I had to say today, guys. Hope that clears up some of my thinking. Like I said, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Opinions should not be set in stone. You should always be willing to learn and grow, kind of expand your horizons. If you're a Jidion fan, no hard feelings. I have nothing against you. Unless you call me a predator or a pedophile or a predator sympathizer for absolutely no reason. Yeah, in that case, you can go fuck yourself. But yeah.
It's like, bro, it's obvious he's not like, I don't know. People just be throwing shit out sometimes. Jidion now, click the bell. Yeah, nah. Hey, when that video drop, we on that. Cause yeah, if you know the history, you know what I mean, then yeah, this for sure gonna be something to watch. Let's see how his perspective changes.
I think that's it. So yeah.
Alright. Well, honestly, you know, I'm glad he took accountability. That's honestly the best you can do in this situation. You always gotta admit where you're wrong. Like you said, it's not a big deal to admit when you're wrong, you know. So at least they came to a similar standpoint and a mutual agreement in most things. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, do what you gotta do, man. I'm just glad he's gonna try to finally see how he does it. So since no one here, I'm gonna find something. I bet.